Hello again and welcome back to Just Fun Stuff. It is time to get a little work done here on Funland. We are creating a fairy tale type garden today. But before we get started, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another upload. With all that being said, let's get started. Alright, like I said, we are creating a fairy tale type garden. I wanted to create an area using the pumpkin carriage because I got one as a gift, and again, I'm really excited for spooky season to start. And I wanted to create an area that we could use in the summertime that's going to be really kind of white and light and pretty, but we can also interchange it and get it ready for the Halloween decorations that we're going to be getting shortly. So that is exactly what we're doing. Right now, I am just starting with a basic platform. I wanted to create some height with this, so putting in a couple layers so that we can put in some waterfalls, really make it really kind of pretty, kind of dreamy, and I just like the way the water looks. I really do. Alright, widening up our platform. Again, it's always trial and error, just trying to see how big I want things, where I want things to go, and I wanted to put this fountain up top, and of course getting the carriage ready, but I wanted to put the fountain up top along with the waterfalls because I think it looks really pretty. And again, it's one of those items that we can customize. Again, when spooky season comes, we can make that black. We can interchange everything that we're using for this kind of fairy tale garden and can change it up. So I tried to pick items that worked really pretty for the summer, but can also be changed and used around for other seasons, so I don't have to change the entire area. We can just customize the items that we're using and just make it its own separate area. Not to mention, in doing this, if we ever acquire villagers, that houses we can turn into almost like haunted houses for spooky season. We can also add that around this area and kind of mold them together and create like a really cool villager yard slash area. So that's kind of what I had in my mind when I was doing this. Of course, I had to do my attempt at a path, but if you notice, it was 10 times quicker with a lot less problems, so we are definitely making improvements in our path building. Now we're just cleaning up the area. We have the carriage down where we want it on the path. Now it comes to building, creating, and customizing. I love the mum cushions. Of course, they look beautiful everywhere, not just for seating, but they really take up a lot of space and pull things together. They're one of my favorite accent pieces. So of course we had to get some of those. There we go. Already it looks so pretty. Trial and error with the lights. Now shaping it out because we don't want it too square. We want to kind of keep it fancy. And for fencing here, I've been using a lot of the country fence and the barbed wire fence, but for this one, again, it's like a fairy tale garden, so we're going with the hedges mostly because I think they just look so nice. Alright, Nova lights. Candles. Again, it's all about the lights. I want this to look really beautiful during the day, but I also want it to just really draw the eye at night. Eventually, I would like to open up Funland and have people come and walk through at night, and so I really want a lot of light. There we go, Nova lights. More hedges. And I put them specifically at that level so that we can carve out, as you can see, the back of our structure. So again, it's not just a square. Now we moved the carriage again. I did the carriage originally just so I could see placement, where I wanted things to go, how much space I needed. Now it comes to decorating and trying to find areas to put trees and more fencing, so obviously we need to move things out of the way. empty our pockets so that we can get more. And of course, I'm constantly thinking about items that we can use. This is where I had bought a bunch of floating blocks. I had a thought to try and make like an archway, as you're gonna see once I get everything opened up. I was gonna try and create my own arch. I know that there are arches in the game, but I was gonna try and make a really neat one out of floating blocks, but I didn't like the way that they looked, and they were covering up a lot of what we had just created with the backdrop, so I didn't really want to use that. So of course, floating blocks back into the inventory. We will find another use for them for sure. We did a secret garden before, and I really want to revamp that and create a new one. So I'm thinking that's what we'll use the blocks for. It just didn't work for this application, not the way I wanted it to work anyway. But as you can see, there are always other options, and in this case, we're going with more white Nova lights, because again, the more light, the better. Just crafting and customizing. I love the Nova lights. They're big, they're bright. I'm adding more just so that I can climb and put the Nova lights where I want them. I liked the pillars the way that we had them, so obviously I'm gonna knock that back out, and I think that looks phenomenal. Really gets that kind of fairy tale look going, I think. I personally think anyway. More hedges, because the more green the better. As you can see, it's really starting to come together now. It's all about garden lanterns. We want the light. Let there be light, because at night, I think it's going to look absolutely amazing. I'm hoping to take a picture at nighttime that we can put on our Instagram. If you haven't checked out our Instagram, do that. And hopefully we will have a nighttime picture that we can put up that'll look really good. There we go. We're collecting more trees. I planted a bunch of trees all throughout Funland where we haven't started building yet. You can see that they're growing now. So at this point, anything that hasn't been turned into an area is a free-for-all for materials. And this area definitely needs a lot more greenery, definitely some flowers. But as you can see, it's really starting to come together. And as you can see, again, like I said, it's really very pretty right now. A lot of the white and the water and the garden lanterns, obviously the white lilies. But again, these are all things that can be interchanged and customized for different seasons. I mean, the Nova lights can be orange, or once we are able to get pumpkins, and I don't personally have Halloween DIYs yet because I wasn't playing at that time. I have a few Halloween items that I got as gifts. But once I start getting the DIYs and I can make like the spooky towers and the jack-o'-lanterns, you can always change out the Nova lights and put those up there. Change the fountain that we put in, make it black, and you can totally make it more of a Halloween type area. Even with the spooky carriage, you can change it back to orange and just change it up seasonally. I don't know how you do it for Christmas yet. I guess that's something to think of. Yep, tried a different arch, didn't like it. Arches were not working for this build for me at all, but everything else, as you can see, is coming together really, really nicely. I'm really happy with the way the area is setting up. Candles for sure, because I want light. Brought in some of the country fencing just because I wanted to change it up. I needed a little more texture and color, personally. Some more flowers. There, it is literally almost complete. I had some shell lamps that I was going to customize Pearl to keep the same kind of color pattern going, and they were already all customized, which is awesome. I'm pretty sure they were from our Mermaid Castle build, so I didn't have to customize anything there. Adds more light, just a little more color. Super, super pretty. I love this area. I'm really happy with the way it was turning out. Again, more hedges, just because, again, it is a fairy tale garden, so you want it to have a decent amount of flowers. But that's it. That's all. Simple platforms, waterfalls, a few decorations. The carriage makes it. The hedging looks beautiful. I'm so happy with the way that that turned out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching with me, creating this build, for liking and subscribing, and I'm definitely going to be seeing you guys in our next video.